Magandang araw muli sa lahat. Nagbabalik muli si Kuya Tim para i-try natin itong bagong laro. Itong EndZone, A World Apart. So, tignan natin kung maganda itong larong to. Sana guys, supportahan niyo po ako sa aking channel na to. Paki-subscribe po at paki-like po. Sana magustuhan po ninyo ang ginagawa kong mga video. Medyo matagal ang loading niya. A World Apart. Ayan, natapos din. EndZone, A World Apart, Prosperity. So, new game tayo guys. Tutorial, survival mode, scenarios. Tutorial tayo kasi hindi pa natin alam kung ano yung mechanics ng laro. Tutorial. Start. So, yan guys, nandito na tayo.
Left the end zone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus.
Let's build ourselves a new home.
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
Let's do it. Survival guide dito sa taas daw. Ito ba? Ito nga. Sige, hindi natin basahin yan.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here.
Okay.
Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Okay. So, base dito sa tutorial, open the profession menu. So, ito. And then, magsiset tayo ng builders. So, may 10 tayong settlers. Ito. Gawa tayo kahit mga 5.
Alright. Your builders will be ready.
Tatlo lang kailangan. So, okay, tatlo.
It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need. Water.
Got it.
The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
Understood. Jerry. So dito tayo, malapit sa lake. Ito, build. Jerry. Oh, di pwede. Yan. Wala pa din. Ayan, nag-green na. Pwede na siguro to. Ayan. Cherry. Ngayon, workers, So may dalawa na tayo, may sobra pa tayong isa kasi dalawa lang kailangan. Ayan na. Ayan na yung mga workers, yan na yung may mga linya, may circle na to. Ito. Tama. Pupunta sila dito. Meron ba dito pampabilis ng gawa? Pampabilis ng araw. Ito. Ito. Game speed. Sige, try natin to. Ayun. Para mabilis sila. Mas bilis gumawa. Yun. Tapos.
The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method.
Great.
We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Let's do it. So, gagawa tayo ng cistern. Ito. Sige nga, build buildings. Ito. Ang sabi, dapat malapit lang daw sa jetty. Jetty. Ito, pwede na to. Build. So, ayan. Bilisan ulit natin. Mabilis na mabilis. Ayan. Bilis nila, oh. Ayun, gawa na yung cistern natin. Sabi dito, assign settlers to the professions. Water carrier. Profession, dito tayo. Water carriers, so kailangan ng 3. 1, 2, 3. Dito tayo nagbawas sa settlers. Tapos kailangan makaproduce ng 100. Forward natin. $25, $50. 75. Yun, 100.
We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern.
Nice.
Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available. You can never have enough water in storage.
Okay, so may reward tayo na 200 water. Understood.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Okay, so gagawa na naman tayo ng fishing hut. Fishing hut. Saan ba yun? Ayan, ayan. Food. So, ano ba yan? Ayan, ayan, ayan. So, dito banda. Yan. Ay, di pwede. Yan, ayan. So, bilisan naman natin yung gawa. Ayun, gawa na naman yung fishing hut natin. Assign settlers to the fisher. So, dalawang fisher ang i-assign natin. Ito, 1, 2. Kailangan makapag-produce ng 50 na fish. Bilisan natin. Ay, sobra. Nice.
We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out.
So may reward tayo na 300 fish. Okay.
Crops are another excellent way of getting food because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut where production can be right away.
Understood. Cultivated field. Ano to? Ayan. Yung pula, dry. Ay, dried out. Yung ito, yung kulay ba to? Orange, dry. Itong green, moist, wet. So, dito tayo sa moist. Ito dito banda, itong green na to. So, magkukultivate tayo ng field. Task. Saan ba yun? Food. Ito. So, field. Yan. Yan. So, nagkukultivate na siya. I-off nga natin to. Yan. Aray. So, ang itatanim natin dito ay lettuce seed. Pwedeng black salsify. Pwedeng cabbage. Cabbage na lang siguro. Ayan. Cabbage. Choose. Ayan. Ano to? Workforce. Assign settlers to provision farmer. Isa maglagay tayo ng isang farmer. Ito. Ayan.
Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy.
Ayan na
You
siya.
should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain. Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on.
Got it.
At the beginning, we don't have much scrap wood or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Let's do it. So, gather wood. Task. Ito. Gather wood. Itong bilog yun covered niya siguro. So, ito. Clearing natin tong area na to. Yan. Tapos, scrap. Ito maraming scrap dito. So, ilagay natin dito banda. Dito. Ayan. Tignan natin kung ilan na lang yung population natin. Settler na available, 3. Ito, so meron tayong 1,389 na water, 869 na pagkain, 139 na wood, may 136 na scrap. Tools, meron tayong 12. Radiation protection, meron tayong 15. Medication, wala. Cloth, wala. Yung health natin, ng mga settlers natin, okay naman, kompleto. Radiation level, wala. So, ano sabi dito? Mabilis-bilisan natin yung gawa para ma-reach natin itong 15 tsaka 20. ito, ano to? Scrap, ayan. Kompleto na yung scrap. Ano na lang, yung wood na lang ito. Wood. Ayan,
Since we're
kompleto
now
na.
on plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
So may reward tayo na 30 na scrap at saka 40 na wood. Great!
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Okay. Ito, may red. Homeless settlers. Patay, may mga homeless na tayong mga settlers. Ayan, no? Tignan natin muna yung area, guys. Oh. Tignan nyo. Nagkaroon yata ng pagsabog o ano ba, bakit nagkaganito tong lugar na to? Ayan na, puro sira. Puro sira. Dito may isang village. Dito, ano na dito? Lawak, guys, oh. Balik tayo doon. Saan na yun? Ito. Sabi dito, Forester's Lodge. Sige, gawa tayo. Resources. Ito. Forester's Lodge para mabilis yung ano natin ng kahoy. So dito ko siguro ilalagay. Dito na lang. Yan. Pabilisin natin. Pagawa. Yan, wood. Kompleto na. Ano pala? Clearing pala yon. Clearing, okay na. Scrap. Yun. Saving. Yan sila, oh. Dito nila kinukuha yung mga materialis. Yan, oh. Tapos pupunta dun. Ayan, ayan. Yun, gawa na. Gawa na yung Forester's Lodge natin. Assign settlers to the profession forester. Isang forester, may 4 tayo ditong settler na available, so isa lang. Yan.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. And for your information, if you want, you can also tell your forester's lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use.
Understood. So, may reward tayo na 50 wood.
Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Understood. Tignan niya muna natin itong tanim natin. Crop yield. So, kailangan natin maabot yung 216. Nasa 84 pa lang tayo. Okay. Ano daw? Scrap yard? Okay, scrap yard. Ito. So, ilalagay ko siya dito sa maraming scrap. Itong area na to para lahat makuha. Wala, hindi pwede. Ito, dito. Yan. Pabilisin natin yung gawa. Ayan mga tao. Bilis nila kumilos. Ayan. Clear the area. Medyo matagal to. Tignan natin yung hut natin. Meron tayong 2,000 na fish. Water, ang water natin 2,000 pala. Yung pagkain 1,000 plus. Okay. Sana ba to? Ayan. So may wood. Malapit na. Ano to? Oncoming drought. Oncoming. So magkakaroon ng drought. Ayan. Yan. Magagawa na siya. Ayan. Yun. Gawa na yung scrapyard natin. Pero kailangan ng... Ilan ba yung kailangan? Isa. Iglagay tayo ng isa. Scrap collector. Ayun.
We can
Nice.
change the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Okay. So may reward tayong 50 na scrap. Okay.
Our people want a place to sleep and live. Cabins fulfill their need for safety and privacy, and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
Let's do it. So ito yung kanina kasi meron tayong mga homeless na mga settlers kaya nagpapagawa sila ng bahay. So yun ang sunod na gagawin natin, guys. Yan. So meron na tayong forester's lodge, meron tayong scrapyard, meron tayong cistern, meron tayong fishing hut. So yan na lang kulang, gagawa tayo ng mga bahay na. Pero guys, sa susunod na episode na natin gagawin yan. So ngayon, tatapusin muna natin yung video. At guys, sana supportahan nyo yung channel na to. Mag-subscribe kayo guys kung gusto nyo yung mga ganitong content. Gusto nyo ng mga laro-laro lang, tamang laro lang. And maraming salamat guys sa panonood. See you soon. Bye!